Hey, good morning. Let's go over today's trade plan. So in the overnight session, we saw that the liquidation that really started yesterday after the close continued in the Globex session, and ES ended up selling off down towards 70 to 71, and that's where it found responsive buyers, balanced out, and is now back into the prior day's range. So, we had support near 68, 68 half. That was a spot where responsive buyers could be active. In this case, buyers stepped in a couple of points ahead of that, and we're trading back in yesterday's range. So heading into the open, we're going to be using the 84 half to 86 half area as the micro bull bear zone. If we continue to hold above that zone, it would tell us that buyers are fairly active in this market, and that can result in a push up to 95 to 98, and that's an area where responsive sellers could be active first test, but a strong move above 84 half to 86 half would indicate that buyers are stepping back into this market, and it could lead to even a breakout above 95 to 98. So this 84 half to 86 half area is going to be pretty important off the open, and if we fail at the micro bull bear zone, then we can look for a move back down towards the overnight low, towards 72 quarter to 73 quarter, and the initial support zone 67 half to 70. And buyers can still be active at those zones below, with the 67 half to 70 zone being quite key. And in the event of a break below 67 half, then the next area of support is 61 half to 63, and we have a pretty key high volume node at 56 quarter. So at this point, on the downside, even if we do start heading lower, the downside could be limited to either the initial support zone, or in the event of some stronger selling, perhaps the 61 half or the 56 quarter high volume node. So the downside does seem fairly limited. The other markets have already hit some pretty key support in the overnight session as well, and we've seen a decent bounce coming off of that. So, we can still head lower, of course, if we hold below the micro bull bear zone this morning, but below the overnight low, there may not be too much more left in this market, at least in the short term. So, it's just something to be aware of. So, off the open, keep an eye on 84 half to 86 half, the 88.75 to 90 pre-market resistance. If we are going to get a decent sell move today, then ES should hold below the pre-market resistance and the micro bull bear. And if we start seeing some strong buying through those areas, then you want to be cautious on the short side, and start looking for long setups in anticipation of a breakout above 95 to 98, because then that scenario could very well be in play. Now 95 to 98 is active resistance until broken, but a strong move into that zone would tell us that the short-term bias has shifted, and we could be setting up for a break above 95 to 98. So we will have to gauge that zone as the market approaches it, see what type of underlying strength the market is showing, and if we're looking at some unusual strength, then perhaps be careful there. Above 95 to 98, we have some minor resistance at 2000, 2005, and the next major resistance area is really up at 09 to 11, and then 1375. So if we break out above 95 to 98, then the market could make its way back up to 09 to 11. So those are really the main ideas heading into the open. The 84 half to 86 half is really going to be very telling on which way this market could be going. And, we know that we closed on weakness yesterday. So, how the market resolves the micro bull bear and pre-market resistance is really going to provide, the key tell on really the entire day's bias. And so, we are going to be looking for the type of reaction we can get there. And, if the buyers continue to sustain, then be careful on the short side. If we fail at the micro bull bear or pre-market resistance, then be cautious on longs, because we may have to go down to at least 72 quarter, 73 quarter, and quite possibly 67.5 to 70 in order to find buyers again. Because overall, we know that the sellers have been more dominant in this market, but we're just open to the idea that that theme, could be changing in the near future, either today or early next week. So, that being said, let's just keep an eye on 84.5, 86.5, see how that plays out, and we will take it from there.